Thank you.
When it works really well. The mom came in and you Bill, and it was just sweet and just like honest.
So how has this show changed your life?
Well, I'm living in a large mansion in Bel Air now.
And Zeno, as Remy was harder fun.
It's made me more aware of being a dad, which I've never been.
Things in the character that I like.
It really has. The lessons that come out of it and how I have to present that lesson to Cricket and Tilly and sometimes Remy and sometimes Gramma. It's an interesting dynamic that I've never got to experience in my life, but now I am through animation.
Wow, that's really nice.
I finally get to live out my inner truth of being ornery old lady. And I just get to live in that, and that feels really nice. And I've gotten to see that grow, and it's part of me that's growing, and it's something that I can aspire to be. I would like to be like in my old age, if that's not true, like in my day-to-day life.
You mean this show is foreshadowing your...
Sort of, little bit.
Where do you see your character arcs from, as opposed to last season to this season? Where do you see your characters, like, you as the matriarch and you're the dad, and how do you see that growing this year?
There's always more lessons to learn for the kids, so Bill has to keep things going down the same road, but at the same time he has his fears and concerns, and we have to rein those back. So it's just, the characters keep growing mostly because of the brilliant writing on our show. We have some of the best writers, and we started off with a great bunch of writers, and some of them have moved on to other shows, and we brought in new people, and the new people just took to it like, a duck to water. And everybody just keeps moving in the same direction, and the scripts just keep getting better and better. Not that they were bad at any one time, they weren't, but they just keep getting stronger and they're presenting the family as a unit. And that's why we make television.
I feel like we've been it's been really
The original title
really good.
Ruh-roh.
Which, well, granted, not a great title.
I feel like we've been it's been really fun to see. First she started kind of like these people came into her life and she was sort of not the naysayer, but trying to tamp everybody down, and now she's full on with everything. So it's like, what? Buy a coffee shop? Yes, let's do this. And she's on board with all the things, and I think that's pretty cool.
What would you have said for both of your characters would have been the best lesson that you've learned throughout from first season to now?
The best lesson?
Ooh,
as your character, as character, no, characters.
I think it's. I'm sorry. I'm like, where am I looking? I think for Alice, it's been that. I think Nancy has been kind of an amazing person to interact with, and it's just like, oh, there is somebody else who can handle all of Alice, and who has so much of herself to give back. And it's been pretty interesting, I think, for Alice to deal with Nancy in the house.
For Bill, probably learning to trust his children more and not be so overbearing dad. Give them a little space, let them do what they need to do, but at the same time help focus them into where that should actually be going, rather than the crazy places the cricket goes. And sometimes
we met over Zoom, right?
How, with the pandemic and lockdown, the adjustment emotionally instead of instilling you together, and how that could adjust you promote the
That's fun. We go out there. It's great. I'm just there.
We remote recorded for just a few months when the pandemic started, and then all the studios in town in Los Angeles started looking into what they needed to do to keep things going. And I would say it was within 3 or 4 months that most of the studios were open, but they had redone their filtration systems, their protocols for sanitizing,
moving to the country.
the studio, the booth that you were in, and the place that we record at, Out Loud Audio, it's at least 30 minutes to 45 minutes before someone can come back into that room after you've finished a session, and they will change out. If you don't bring your own headphones, they change out the headphones and sanitize them, but bring in a new clean pair. They also change the microphones out and do that, and they wipe everything down, they sanitize everything, and even though there's a double pane of glass between us and the engineer and the voice director and the engineer on the other side have a mask on the entire time that we're working.
It has been a little sad that we haven't been able to do a lot of group records because of it. So yeah, we do go into the studio. There was a nightmare 3 months where we were doing it in closets. But really, I do think the saddest part is just not to be able to like get in a room with each other and play. Well, hopefully we'll be able to do that again.
Yeah, because it's such a different dynamic when everybody's in the room together, as opposed to reading your lines on your own, and maybe the voice director is reading the lines in between for you so you can get a run of something. It's so much better when you're in the room and you're with your friends and you know these people and how they react to stuff. And that's the best part of this job. It's not a job, it's play. I mean, and there are times that I will tell people, I will pay you to let me do this.
I don't say that.
Well, you haven't been doing it as long as me, I think.
How much ad-libbing is there? I mean,
What's that?
How much ad-libbing? Because some of it seems really spontaneous. I know the writing, is great.
Sometimes there are ad-libs that find their way into the show. It really just depends. I worked on a different show on a different network many years ago, and we would do one pass of a block of lines, and then the voice director would make some corrections if there were any, and then the third pass that we would do, he'd say, okay, do what you want. And you have the outline of what's going. We've just done it twice, but ideas are always percolating in somebody's head. And that, I would say 9 times out of 10, ad-libs that came out of that made it into that script. Planet Sheen, Nickelodeon, never mind.
I know.
But yeah, no, there are ad-libs that find their way into that. I mean, something will just hit the way you've read the line, or as the line's being done, or they're listening to a playback, and suddenly an idea hits. I mean, I'll say, could I try this? And they're always open to it. I mean, they want any input they can, and if it works better than what is already there, they're not gonna squash it down.
I feel like that happens especially a lot in elevator systems, where there's a lot more room to play. The episodes themselves are so well written and so tightly packed.
Sure.
They definitely are open to ideas, which is so nice. But as far as like playing an ad-lib, I think that's mostly the shorts.
What do you think it is about the show that connects with audiences so well?
It seems to be a family unit that people can relate to, where you've got the kids and they have their world and their friends and what they do, and Tilly is so unique in how she perceives things and thinks that this is how it's going to go, and then you find that there's a very sharp left turn all of a sudden, but then she winds up coming back into where it should be. But and Cricket and Remy getting into their little escapades, they always come back to the center of it, and it's usually Bill who's focused it back down. And Gramma has a lot of influence on that, the biscuit episode in particular. I mean, everybody wanted some of those biscuits. Bill had only had them once, remembered them fondly. But I think it's just that it's a family that everybody can relate to in one way or another. I mean, the guys have told me, Chris and Shane have told me, that they get emails and actual letters and cards from kids saying, we wish that our dad was Bill. And I just go, oh my gosh.
I do think so many of the characters, they're just the most one. All the characters are so well written, and they're like the most positive version of something a little unhinged. Like Bill's like need to keep everything in order, but he's like still in love, a lovely person who loves everybody. Grandma obviously has her violent tendencies, but she still loves everybody and she's with everybody. Tilly, in the not you know, children's cartoon version might like curtains on fire, but she is in this version, like it's all, you know, and Cricket's hyperactivity. Xeno's just like Ireland Xeno is what I mean, positivity towards everything and like need to be fighting. Like there's something there, but he's always like smiling and fighting. Everything's just like the best version of something a little bit special.
And now Gloria being a part of the extended Green family.
Yeah.
You know, the Greens helping her come into knowing, you know, where she really should be and following her dream, and she now has the coffee shop to do that with.
I really loved the episodes that dealt with Bill and Alice's past, particularly, you know, her husband and his dad. I'm curious if that gave you better insight into your characters, and do you think we'll be seeing more of their
Oh, I didn't hear the last part of the
We'll be
question.
seeing more of their past explored.
Will we be seeing more of the past explored?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's up to the writers.
It's up to the writers,
Yeah.
but I do love it every time it happens.
You know, those have been great episodes.
Yeah.
And it just kind of opens the curtain up a little bit and you see what's going on, and it answers some questions that have been nagging at everybody's, you know, mind, ours included, because we have no idea.
For sure.
You know, we get those scripts a few days before the record, and it's like, oh, okay, now I get this.
Right. It is so interesting that it's something that's already happened, but we're experiencing it unfold. I really can't believe I don't remember the name of the episode where we did go into Alice's background, your dad.
Yeah.
I don't remember the name of that episode, but I mean, it opened so much up for me as far as like what Grandma's history was. I got very emotional reading that, and you know, there are little bits and pieces. I feel like just in Dirt Jar recently, that came out, the episode where y'all moved, there were little like snippets of what happened in the past. So hopefully there is more of that.
And how do you feel about it being here today?
Very, very excited being anywhere in person.
Yeah.
And it's always great to see the fans because they love us for what we've given them. We love them for what they've given to us, making us the #1 show.
Yeah.
Can't argue with that. Thank you, fans.
I am so excited for that. I have not interacted with anybody Big City wise, Big City Greens fans in a long time.
We saw each other for the first time this morning, and I hadn't seen her in 2 years.
Yeah. So nuts.
Because not recording together is, you know, the big part of that, and there being such a gap between. Usually, when, you know, we would record, there would be, you know, I'd be leaving and somebody else would be coming in, and you get to sit and chat for a second and then go your ways. But, you know, with so much time in between, her session isn't scheduled until here, and I've already finished back there. So it's just, it's nice to see everybody again. Really nice. And not just texting and typing to someone, or, you know, calling on the phone and saying howdy. And Zooms don't do it either.
No, it can't be the same. It can't feel the same.
Oh, the little square over there is talking now. The little square is talking.
I miss the cons as well.
Yeah.
Just,
I know that everybody's excited about it. I watched all the footage in Los Angeles of the guys going down, everybody going to Comic-Con in San Diego, and you could almost feel it through the pictures that were coming back. You could feel how everybody had missed it and wanted to be there, and it just felt like it was just a warm reunion.
yeah.
And I hope that's what's here today.
No, I didn't. I couldn't make it, but I'm glad I'm here. Yeah.
We're glad you're here too.
Yeah, we're thrilled to be back.
Yeah. Because it's tough to do that.
One more question.
Yeah. One more question?
Yeah, I think what really resonates for me with the characters, like Bill and you just mentioned Gloria, there's a lot of this theme of failure, and I was talking with the creators before, it's like a lot of The Office, like Michael Scott, he's very self-serious, happy with his life, his career, or secretary. And that, I think a lot of people, especially during the pandemic, you know, the moments of doubt or happiness, career, and life, is that the thing that resonates with you, you can relate to?
Oh gosh, I'm sorry. You might have to reword that question for me. Yeah, can I relate to what specifically? Doubt about my life?
No, just no.
Because yes.
Because the way what should I say is if it's the rest of the query something you feel what they go to you. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, if you've ever had doubt, basically maybe you're starting out with a career, whatever, and it's something that sort of Gloria or maybe Bill goes through.
Okay, so you're saying as the character, not as the actor?
Yes.
Oh, okay, because the actor, every damn day. But as the character, I feel like, I gotta say, Grandma knows she's fine. She does what she's been through it. She's been through wars, and she will do what she has to do to get through it. I feel like her biggest doubt, her biggest insecurity is her family leaving her to go to the country. It's probably the saddest thing. But luckily she has a cafe to take care of, and they're not too far away, so they'll be able to cook some.
Bill's fears come through in just about every single episode. There's always something that is just on the edge of pushing Bill over, and I love how the writers have been able to bring those to the fore and make an episode out of it, but still reining it in at the end and making sure everybody understands you can try these things, and it doesn't. And if you fail at it, it's okay. Tomorrow's another day. Try something else. Or, on the other hand, if you try it and it works, it just builds Bill's character a little bit more, or the character of someone else on the show. It's a very positive family show. I like that.
Yeah.
Bill's a good dad. I'm a dad, so I look at Bill and I'm like, yeah, Bill's got it.
Thank you. I try to pass along what I can.
Thank you guys.